Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mega kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Where's the party?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You blew it!
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire are scanning. Radiant's bot. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Over here. Oh!
Balance the scale. Bounty, which will knit you up with prize.
Radiant team ban.
We're gonna get an ogre ban. We don't know. Tiger, think about it.
What are they doing? They're
37. He's thinking.
What are they gonna do?
Thinking.
Hands up.
Hands up! Hands up, baby.
This isn't America, guys.
What is happening?
This is the
Steve?
longest a team has ever taken to ban out a second
Radiant
ban.
It's the same hero, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe they just couldn't
Yeah, it
find
is.
That happens to me
What's
sometimes.
happening, Cheever?
Well, so far Navi has banned out the same heroes. Let's see if Tiger's ban out Treant again.
What is this flexing?
Intimidation.
And it's the same ban.
Tree and didn't ban ogre?
Huh?
No, he banned Treant.
Radiant team.
Okay.
Nice. The axe first pick. That's what I expected.
Is it?
Lizzie!
After that performance, I agree.
Look at that
From Acre,
smile.
he's like, yes, he's gonna carry me.
Yep. And
You know-
one thing to note is that the Na'Vi bans, I think part of the reason they're not changing it, they're taking away all the win conditions from Tigers. And so far, Tigers has been relying on this 10th pick cheese. They don't have the ability to go to any of their like strong strategies because I think they're all based upon those 3 opening bans from Na'Vi. And I think they might just be comfortable playing against the cheese. They took their lactate, now they're all of a sudden ready to go, drink that milk, eat that yogurt, and take victory.
Both teams are pretty good at recovering after a loss. We've seen that before in series. We've seen that before over the course of a tournament. Why are you guys? They're just laughing at me.
You're
right
just
now.
talk.
Yeah.
What do you want?
I don't even know what I'm
What do
doing.
you want?
Playing the best of. You're thinking that, well, Tigers lost that game.
I don't think there is such a thing as tilt.
Oh,
Okay, I know that is wrong, so let's just ignore that statement
sentence
for a
just
second.
tilted me. I'm pissed.
Well, it depends on the team, I think. You can kind of tell when teams...
No, oh no, he coming. Oh Lord, he coming. Ogre Magi.
I was listening, Slacks. I was listening. What
Go
was
ahead.
having to say?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go on.
What a weird thing were you trying to set up here?
So, I wasn't setting up anything. I was discussing tilt.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so some teams are much better at keeping their cool than others. Some teams get mad, some teams make memes. But traditionally, the teams that do the best...
Jen! Oh my God!
Oh Lord, he coming.
This hero!
Oh my God. Now go ahead, Kyle. The teams that do the best. We're not tilting
Such
you,
as-
are we?
So teams like Liquid and OG, they rely on the power of friendship and come into games just thinking, you know, it's like a Kuro statement, really. You know, we might win, we might lose. It kind of depends on fate. All we can do is our best and hope that in the end we come out triumphant.
I don't know if I'd say that. I mean, OG in the TI at least was fueled by hatred.
That's not true.
Well,
That is true.
It's you
read
guys,
the book.
Have you seen the picture?
I took it, Shiva. I've seen it.
I know. I mean, that was not the power of friendship in that picture. That was the power of hatred and
that
fuel
wasn't
and
hatred,
rage
that
and
was
revenge.
competitive vigor.
I live my
very
life by
different.
hatred.
I call it revenge. Revenge is a dish
You
best
guys
served.
Can we not falsify the facts and manufacture drama? All right, the storyline is.
Excuse me. Have you seen the picture?
Have you seen the picture though, you idiot? Have you seen it?
Look, that picture was a hoax.
What? What?
It's
No.
fake news.
No, Valve fabricated it. Oh God, I'll admit it.
Valve.
I watched
secretly-
them. It was AR. It was AR. They AR'd him on the stage. Oh God.
All right, guys, let's focus on the game here. We have got the first few picks coming out, and we are in the second ban phase. So we've seen Ogre Magi and Lena already from Tigers before,
Yeah, that worries me.
and the lane was the lane that failed. But they can always go back and put that Ogre as support and put Lena as a core. Like, those are two very flexible picks.
They
That's
ban out the Dark Willer. Yeah.
No,
Why
not
don't
not
do
like
that?
the hero a lot. And we've seen they switched from the Enigma to Axe now, which makes a lot of sense because Navi, they want to be more aggressive. This Enigma sometimes is a bit too slow of a Dota hero. So Navi, they want to keep fighting.
Yep.
They picked that with a Chen. They go hard, hard, hard
in the paint.
What?
in the paint.
You've never.
That's what it means. That's what Grant told me, actually.
Hard in the paint?
Don't
Yes.
listen to him.
What does that mean? Because
It's a basketball reference, I believe.
In a way, it's complicated. It's a multiple meanings. It's really dependent on the interpretation of those listening.
gross.
You guys obviously don't get it, so we're gonna move on. Storm banned from Tigers. They're sick of the magical storm. It was quite effective, and I would expect.
Freaking overly effective.
Look at the time they have to spend. There's so much thought going into this pick. What will it
Yep.
be? Bulldog. You don't know. It's
I know.
Oh, you do?
I'm feeling the Winter Wyvern.
Hell!
Gonna finally come back
Been a
now.
long time.
I think you mean the
Been a-
Winter Dragon.
A Wyvern is a dragon, though. It's a type of dragon.
Give me that tiny dog.
I don't think you're tiny. There's way too much single target. and it also somewhat closes their draft.
Last time they went for the Weaver Undying picks.
I think Weaver
this
Undying is still quite good, to be honest. It's just that 10th pick. They don't build around one of their favorite cores, so they have a nice lineup, but there's no glue that provides the victory.
Yeah.
Is Undying glue?
No, the last pick would be. Like, they need the win condition hero, and it was Meepo, then it was Huskar. I think they should have and could have won both games. Another Chavash Tiny.
Yay!
Nice. He owned in that previous game.
Indeed, he did.
Indeed.
He made that bottom lane work for them and Gyro.
Cool. Why'd they ban Dark Willow, though?
Because it's also a Chavash hero that's dominating, and you know, if you're gonna ban out heroes and you don't really know what your enemy team is gonna do, why not ban out some signature heroes like Magical Storm and Chavash's Willow?
I don't think you've ever laned against Axe, Dark Willow, Slacks. If you ever had, you would know.
Well, what I know.
That is not fun.
Okay.
It is not fun. Dark Willow.
Holy shit!
Damn.
Admiral Bulldog the God!
Called it.
Woo!
Winter
back.
Wyvern.
That's why
Finally.
we're the analysts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're still wrong a lot.
You've been wrong the 4 last games, I believe.
That's not true.
Kyle
Not
is,
true at all.
Oh, Kyle has, yes.
Kyle has been. The last 4 games you've been wrong with your predictions.
Templar
that out.
Assassin.
Who's counting anyway?
Oh.
I don't know about you guys. I'm trying to get them wrong. It's too easy
Hey-oh!
to get it right.
You're just reverse jinxing?
Yes.
Hey-oh!
Finally, we have TA back on Navi.
Yeah,
They didn't click it for a few games now, but damn, Magical and TA has won every matchup he played against, and big time.
I think if you are the side of Tigers, Navi, I feel like you got to ban Ember. Tigers now don't want to put Lina mid. They might have been thinking about it, but now I'm pretty sure you have to core the Ogre, the Wyvern again. And looking at their draft, I'm feeling a bit concerned because they're in that same scenario. We have 4 heroes that can play on map and fast, but they have limited damage. And they don't have something to build around. Who's like the Aegis carrier that's going to take the game for them? That's their 10th pick. But what are the options available? The Meepo gets banned out, and immediate gyro from Navi. All in on this high aggression, just pace. Look at the pace they can play with. They're going to be so fast around the map. They're going to eat towers for breakfast, Roche for lunch, and the major slot for dinner.
Wow. This is not yet the last game. Oh, look, we get a heart.
Why are you facepalm?
Yo! Another gyro. Okay, now that they might have not been prepared for this last time, but come on.
I think you might Alchemist. I'm not sure though. I don't like it against TA too much.
If you're thinking about if you're gonna play fast, surely an Alchemist is not the right way to go. Or you want something that can match the timing,
Yeah,
right?
you just pick Ember, really. You just pick Ember because it allows you to stay aggressive. You don't really feed to anything except for the Axe Call. And while you lose, it's a very skill-based matchup mid. But if you get 1 kill, it turns things around. And there we go.
Holy woly, he did it too.
He did it.
That means that you're going to be able to predict who's going to win, right?
Holy.
Bulldog, you're up first, though.
Golly. Yeah, I switched seats.
This is very easy, honestly. I see Core Ogre, I vote other team.
This is very easy for me. I see what Bulldog does. I do the opposite. Navi is gonna win, or Tigers is gonna win. Tigers is gonna win.
You know you've been wrong so far going against Bulldog, but sure.
That's right. Slack, stop making faces!
Can you please be serious? This is a grand finals
I'm
panel.
thinking. This is my thinking face. I don't do it often.
That's not your thinking face.
Resting crazy face.
Navi.
That's right.
10 seconds.
The last time I went with Kyle, we lost. I'm gonna go for Navi as well.
Suckers. I'm taking all the glory of this.
Oh, let's see what's gonna happen here in the 3rd game of the grand finals. Of course, our Dreamleague Season 10 with Odie, Pixel, and Fogged.
Thank you, Shiva. Yes, ready for another game here in the best of 5 grand finals of the Corsair Dreamleague Season 10 Minor. We have Navi and Tigers ready to go. The drafts are done. It's 1-1 at the moment in this best of 5. Who's going to be able to get themselves back in the lead in this best of 5 series, folk? We've got another game. Navi bringing out that gyrocopter. Tigers with their 5th pick answering with the Ember Spirit. Carl seemed to like the Tigers lineup. What sort of side are you falling on?
Navi set an incredible pace with that gyrocopter last time.
I thought that the lane was not going to go so bad. I mean, Ogre and Lina had a combined like 20-something deaths in the last game. I think they should at least be trading out a couple in that bottom one. I mean, I like the pace that Navi set, though. Blizzy's Axe, he's been absolutely destroying every single game. As soon as he gets Blink Dagger, he always seems to find the catches. He's like Blink, Blade Mail, Shadow Blade build, and he's done it like every single time. He just always seems to be in the place at the right time to find buffs. And they've got Magical on his best hero, right? His Templar Assassin has been absolutely phenomenal. We'll see how this matchup goes, though. The mid matchup for me is going to be a big thing that dictates the pace. Like the panel was saying, skill-based. But the thing about Ember Spirit is in the mid game, you're able to hunt the TA a lot if your team's able to set the pace and look. And this time, too, now they have stuff that can actually hunt and catch, right? The last game, they just lacked so much catch to really do anything. Sure, they had this Huskar lineup that just wants to kind of like ball down and end the game, but now this Ember Spirit can at least try to set up ganks on the sidelines.
And I'm liking this a lot better as well. We've got, what, 1437 back on the leader.
Yeah.
This was sort of the combination that we talked about that has succeeded in their laning stage time and time again. They switched it around, obviously, last game with 1437 playing the Undying, which is fair enough, but then you sort of put Zephyr in that position on the Lina, where he certainly did seem comparatively more uncomfortable on that hero compared to the 1437 Lina performances we've had before.
He was, I mean, uncomfortable. He was extremely uncomfortable. He missed time after time. His light strike arrays were off the point. Even after like a Yule set up into like a stun, he'd miss it. In the lane too, he like ran into the gyrocopter. There was a lot of things that Zephyr had trouble with in the last game, and we've seen 1437 had great games on the Lina.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So this Wyvern pick too, the Wyvern versus the Chen can be really strong, but that's where I think also the Gyrocopter can also have its strength. Gyro versus Wyvern is something we used to see in the past when Gyro was very popular. You can't really cold embrace targets because he just does majority magic damage. Meander
will be sent away from the top bounty room. We're going to see down bottom. Arjit's able to get himself in with the Shikuchi, take that rune away from Blizzy. So across the map as it is, 3 bounty runes to start off going the way of Tigers.
I'm just looking forward to see what this top lane can do again. So if 1437 and Moon can make the difference in comparison to Ogre or Moon, Meander, and Zephyr versus the same lane composition.
Well, we'll see how much of a difference that player swap does make.
They know that this courier snipe is coming. The Chen is in position for it, but Tigers, they are prepared.
Yeah, they shouldn't fall foul to this.
Really, coming out, Magical.
Getting a fair bit onto the TA, punishing, of course, whilst level 1 with just the side blades and refraction.
Yeah, he killed the whole enemy wave without a single one of his creeps dying initially, but now Magical, he gets all 4 last hits. And Zephyr, he's looking for the courier snipe himself.
And he's going to get it.
And is the Chen?
Oh, beautiful! Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I've never seen that before. Both sides losing their couriers in perfect harmony. A win for the teams and a loss for the animals.
Whose was more important? TA had the salve on it. I think the TA's was probably more important. Yeah.
Yeah, he's only got a shared tango and a fairy fire magical.
Yep, Ember already has extra tangos, so. But Magical, as we said, skill-based matchup. Magical's been absolutely amazing on this Templar Assassin already. 7-3 last hits. But has to be careful here. Oh.
He's got to be really careful. Just that shared tango and a fairy fire. Another ping comes out.
They want a rotation.
Yeah, they're bringing the Wyvern back over.
Yeah.
That's top.
Moon.
We go on to Moon. Yes, but the missile going is where they try for the toss back, but it's not going to latch onto the hero. Just a creep. So Moon will be fine.
Magical, getting pressured. He's got to get sent home. It takes quite a long time, but he will be able to get the hell out of there. Sent back and saves his TP so he can TP back to the lane nicely. And that's actually kind of like a reset. He can pick up some regen if he needs it too. So that's very useful coming out from the Chen. And we see Blizzy down bottom, haven't really paid much attention to the bottom lane, but he's cutting creep waves, having a hell of a time. He's not versus an Undying this time that just chases him, spams decays. So Blizzy again, gonna be set up for success.
Oh, top lane. Good bit of harass here onto Crystallize. Light Strike won't catch him though. Just fast enough to keep the distance. With the Salve popped, he'll be back up to full. And in fact, down bottom, Zephyr, he tried to come across to disrupt this from Blizzy, but Blizzy ends up getting the whole wave and the first blood. He's salving up as well, so it'd be good to stay down here. You can't afford to just hand a free first blood kill to an axe that's cut in the creep wave. That's a big no-no.
No, definitely not. And Zephyr really has to step it up. In the last game, he struggled as the Lina. This game gives away the first blood to the... Yeah, like you said, that axe.
You can't do that.
No, he definitely cannot.
But he did. And he's going to come back into the lane onto mid. at least make sure that Wonder Kid continues to have a great time top lane. Chew does get caught out by the chain stuns, but
we're seeing this lane go completely different already, though.
It's so much stronger this time around for Tigers.
The Ogre Lina, it should do very well versus Gyro, like we were saying last time. Just Navi, they must have had some like incredible. We saw a couple of tossbacks from Chew on the Tiny, but this time around, gonna be a little bit different. But Blizzy, he's
nearly
a
level
hood.
5.
He has a hood coming out on the courier.
No, he does.
He has a full hood on the courier.
Sure, you mean a cloak, right?
No, it's a full hood.
Oh my goodness.
It's 3 minutes in.
3.5 minutes in! He's level 5 with a hood top lane. At least Tigers may be able to find themselves some positivities. They'll take down Crystallize, but 4037s have to die for the tower for it. So he'll die. Chew's
and
there.
Moon might go down too.
Chew's still got the combo. He's got the avalanche, a toss back as well, and the Moon. Fire blast, trying his best to run away, but Crystallize back in the lane. Won't look to commit. Homing missile still on cooldown for 8 seconds, so Moon will be fine. But oh my goodness, Blizzy.
Massive.
Absolutely massive. Hood at 3.5 minutes in, that's unheard of. It's got to be the fastest hood we've seen on an axe ever.
It might actually be the fastest.
3.5 minutes Hood of Defiance. And level 5. And a couple more waves, he's going to be level 6. You can't get this axe out of the lane. Top lane. A light strike onto Chew, but the backup's there from Crystallize. In fact, they're looking to chase. Avalanche missile comes out onto the Lina. Crystallize getting himself on top. They take down 1437. Moon's got to be careful as well. If the tree comes out, smacks him on the back, and Moon has to head back to heal. He's mid lane. Set up with the chains, magical. He's going to look to just sort of chase this down, trying to get the angle with the side blades, but Wonder Kid keeps the distance and will be fine. Only just though, going down to 30 HP. He's down to the last tango and a fairy fire.
And look at this, they're applying pressure with the Wildkin as well, so Blizzy's hurting the tower quite a bit here. As Ajint, he's had to use all of his mana to secure some last hits. They will have the Shrine available in about 5 seconds too, but those bounties, he wants to try to claim them.
I mean, he'll be able to take that. Well, actually, will he? Seneko, is he quick on the fingers? He's not. Algit will be able to steal the rune. Little on the mana, so can't chase too hard. Is he going for another Shikuchi?
He breaks
does not.
He breaks the clarity.
Seneko will die unless he wants to pop the Shrine in the stick, and well, with that pop, he should actually live long enough for backup to come in, and indeed he does. Algit has to retreat. The turn, he'll take the creep down. And but Ajit will at least get back to safety. Doesn't get that kill though that he was hunting and hoping for. Mid lane CS at the moment. You see Magical leading the way 30 to 10, 30 for free, trading the CS pretty well, the two of them.
Yep, and they're ready. Seneko's, while he's been moving around between the bottom lane and mid, since you see he's only level 2 on the Chen, he's not able to really gank and set up since this axe is just cutting waves. He's stacking Ancient.
I mean, look at this axe. It's what, 5 minutes in. 5 minutes in, and Blizzy, he's got the tower. Yep, he's got the tower.
The dream for an axe, cutting and getting every single last hit and then getting a first blood. You can't ask for more.
See that try. There's 3 heroes here from Tigers trying to make the go, but Crystallize, he heads into the midst of them all. He's only level 4, so not a crazy amount of magical combo that he can throw out. Chew's still alive for now. Zeph from 1437, they'll look to die. Dragon Slave comes in, he needs another right click from Zephyr though, and Chew, he's doing his best to juke it out through the trees. At the same time, Seneko comes in with a wraparound on the mid lane. They'll kill off the Wonder Kid. Tigers do get the kill eventually onto the Tiny, but as we saw, they did lose that hero mid. They lost the Ember Spirit to a gank from Seneko.
See Moon tanking the tower, trying to make sure that he can protect that catapult so they can try to take this tower early on as well, since they already lost their tier 1 bottom, but they're all very low up here. And Blizzy,
he's taking a tier 2.
He's just keeping his catapult alive.
This axe, I mean, Blizzy, we've spoken to him a few times. He's a very cheery fellow, and I bet he's smiling his face off this game.
This is going to be an incredibly early blink dagger.
Oh my goodness, this axe. This is why they pick it first pick. I think you have to have something drafted to address this play, or you just straight up ban the axe. You can't let him have it. Blizzy just seems to have the freest game of his life. Surely it's not game over or anything, but this axe, you cannot emphasize enough how fat this axe is.
Yeah. In the last game, they did pick something to deal with him, right? They picked the Undying, which is pretty annoying to play versus an axe in lane and also in the game because the Tombstone. This time, though, it's a free farm axe level 8. All right, let's see what Blizzy can make happen with it, because their gyro this game is not out the same start.
Yeah, Crystallize is going to need help, but by all means, you know, an axe with a good start, he's certainly the help that a gyro needs.
Sure.
That sort of jump and setup that buys time to keep people held underneath the cooldown. Chew does get found. Tigers keeping the 3-man up here. Will punish Chu. The cooldown does come in, so Crystallize will look to turn. It's Crystallize with the Rocket Barrage, gets himself on top of Moon. Stick charges will not keep Moon alive, and in fact there's a wraparound as well from Seneko. As Na'Vi, they'll look to take more than just the one from this. The chase down onto Zephyr being proceeded on by Crystallize. Can they quite close the gap? 1437 goes for a light strike, but he gets dodged by Crystallize. They're still very low. In fact, they're going to send the gyro back. Seneco's still trying to chase, but the backup's there. Seneko won't find the kill onto the Lina, so the 1437 will be healed up. Fire Blast from Ogre holds back the Hellbear Smasher. They're also bringing the Ember Spirit up towards the top lane for that play on Tigers. But this is just more space for Blizzy. It's only 8 minutes, and he's nearly got the Blink Dagger on top of the Hood of Defiance. And that is when he can just go to sort of any of these lanes, whether it be towards the mid to set up for the T8 or towards the top to set up for Crystallize, where they have so many opportunities to set up for kills that are going to be so hard for Tigers lineup to punish.
Absolutely. And we were talking about the Gyrocopter being shut down. Look at the Weaver, Ajit. He's been bullied. Like, he only has 37 last hits in the lane because this Axe just had such a successful time to just cut the wave, make this Weaver tank creeps under tower constantly, and then he just takes his tower. Blizzy is uncontested.
Yeah, this Axe has got the potential to entirely take over the game.
Na'Vi, 2k gold lead. Crystallize.
Oh, they got the light strike. And pulling in Archid as well. Crystallize does get the cooldown off, and Chu's there with the backup. Crystallize should still fall for sure, and he does, but not before Na'Vi get 2 kills in return. Double kill for Chu, good burst of gold for him. Blizzy, few more creeps, the Blink Dagger's already on its way out. So 9 minutes in.
Level 10 with a Blink and a Hood.
Has to be one of the best starts we have seen an Axe get.
I mean, he's literally above 500 GPM, so that's pretty crazy.
And he's already looking to make a move. They're not going to quite expect this. They're not going to expect the 9-minute Blink Dagger Hood Axe. No one does. There's Arjit. It's a bit of a bait there. There it is. The avalanche into the Blink. They get the 2-man call, and it's 2 quick kills. And look at that. Respect from Blizzy as well, letting Crystallize take the kill on Moon. Doesn't go for the secondary dunk. He says Marjara needs the gold. He's going to get it. I'm a bro.
And where did the Radiant Courier go? Did it die during that? The Courier died. Oh no. Na'Vi getting absolutely everything going their way this game. The Ember Spirit is the saving grace for Tigers, but the TA is having a perfect time, Blizzy.
Good luck with this.
He's got a Hood, but...
He's got a Hood.
They're right next to his shrine. Can they actually get this man? Nope.
He's got this backup as well. I mean, Blizzy will back away. He did have as well Crystallizing Chu. If they really wanted, they could have tried to force that fight, but Blizzy will play it cool.
All 3 cores at the top now as the Gyrocopter. Sure, he died top, but they got great trades out of that.
He was not in a great place in farm, but that one rotation with this Axe and bam, Blizzy boosts Crystallize back up.
Yep, and Chivash as well, the Tiny. Catapulted forward. We saw what he could do last time on the Tiny. He's already off to a great start too. Na'Vi, 5k gold lead now. It's just accelerating faster than we can even see. Another Ancient stack coming along too, so they can have the TA get enabled by that. Even more so than he is already. Tigers with a very similar strategy to the last game, that's not having a, cheese like a Huskar, but besides that, the side lane's pretty similar. It's not working out so far for them.
I just really think that Tigers, if this game continues to go this way, the way of Na'Vi, they have to seriously consider if they want to let that Axe through the draft. Because even when they do have ways to sort of, at least sort of dissuade him from making these creep cuts, it just seems so powerful. And Blizzy knows exactly how to abuse it.
Every single time you see him just on the prowl. He doesn't show himself in lane at all when he's playing this.
Finger Dream comes forward too far. He's going to get caught out by a call. The spin's coming to play, and the dunk from Blizzy. Another kill for the Axe.
Hashtag Blizzy.
Hashtag Blizzy.
He's doing everything right now for his team, and they're even looking to hunt more. Chu.
Yeah, mid lane.
Toss back.
There they go. They've got the control. Magical. Has he got enough damage? It certainly looks to be it. Moon's trying to at least bring down someone with him, but the light strike from 40-37 will not connect. As Chu still alive. Hand of God heal comes through.
And they're cutting. Blizzy's immediately on the way in the rotation to try to get some more catch.
Oh no, here comes Blizzy. Have some mercies in. Cold embrace, doesn't matter as Blizzy sends him to a cold hard grave.
7k gold lead. It's just ramping up too fast. They need their Ember. They need this Ember Spirit, honestly, to just be running around making plays non-stop for the side of Tigers. The other heroes can't make the similar plays as this hero does. So I think the Ember has to watch how much he shows himself in lane for Tigers to try to have a chance here, but they're losing so much map control. They lose their tier 2 already at this pace in the game. 8k gold lead. Na'Vi, their game plan working again this time around. And the top lane, you know, the Ogre Lina, they were off to a bit of a better start, but then some quick rotations coming in from a blink dagger on an axe completely changes everything. And looking at like this, you know, the thing is that with Tiger's lineup, they want to be off to a good start in the laning phase. If you look at Na'Vi's, their heroes are fine with going in the later state. A Gyrocopter, if he can get out of the laning phase, he becomes very, very threatening. TA, sure, you have this like this timing where your BKB can start to tick low, but if you are able to farm ancient stacks and get a Blink Desolator very quick time, look at the heroes on the side of Tigers. Who's the tankiest? It's an Ogre Magi who's not off to the best start whatsoever. He can just get brought down so quickly from this TA.
Oh, look at that goal for Magical. Oh,
he's gonna be so rich. Seneko setting up those stacks. And look at Blizzy. He knows he doesn't need to get more farm. He'll get farm from getting kills. Sit behind your cores, and when they try to make aggressive moves, be there for the backup. Such a great start for this axe. Tigers.
I mean, you can see Tigers, yeah, they know that
something's up.
Crystallize is sort of the easiest pick-off, but at the same time, they know that there's going to be some sort of trap set.
Yep. And they don't have their level 6 on the Lina still either, so they need that extra burst. They're giving 1437 the lane to try to get him that Laguna. They now have it for that little bit more burst damage. But they're not farming much on the map here because of this. We see Na'Vi. Look at the way they're displayed across the map. Magical's just like, cool. Farming Ancients. Mid, Chavash. Farming. Top, the Gyrocopter's still able to get this farm. They're getting so much more out of the map. Magical was just level 12. Now he's level 14 from farming all those Ancients. Great movement on the map so far by Na'Vi, just controlling time and time again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're still hunting on this top lane, the three of them.
Radiant's middle tower is
Now
under
it's spotted, and look at Blizzy.
They're just collapsing in
Immediately.
They know this is a fight they can take, and look who's there. Blizzy straight in, two-man call. All the setup in the world that Na'Vi need to easily get those 2 kills.
He's got a full pipe now on top too. So the physical damage is pretty limited on the side of Tigers. Now they have a pipe thrown in on top. That Ember Spirit, the Ember Spirit's not going to be able to do much of anything if the axe is there.
Magical's got a blink on top of the desk, so whilst this has all been going on, they're hitting all of their item timings at record pace, Na'Vi.
They can look to do the Roche with just the TA and the Chen. The rest of the 3 can run around the map for Na'Vi and look to get these kills. As it's, yeah, 12k gold lead. It's getting out of hand. It's been getting out of hand from the beginning of this one. But it's getting even more so as Seneko, he will get spotted, going for some deep wards, and will be punished.
They get a chain, kill a bit of money for In Your Dream. But he's going to need a hell of a lot more to really catch up to the pace of the others. I mean, you can see just the difference in the mid lane at the moment. 4.7k net worth on Ember, 9k net worth on Magical, closing to nearly double the net worth that this TA has, as the net worth difference as a team just continues to drop so far away from Tigers.
And the experience too. I mean, it's 16 minutes in, that's an over 10,000 experience lead. That is something you don't see every day.
And Na'Vi are absolutely crushing it.
Yep. And full map control when you have a TA on your team. Like we said, they have so many options that they can look to they can just go for the Roche with the TA and the Chen and have the rest running around. I believe the Tiny as well, Chuvash, now has a blink, because the TA was just ancienting for the last, what, 3 minutes or so, while he just farmed the mid lane. So level 8 Tiny with Blink. This core Ogre has a Vanguard, but he's level 7.
I mean, we're going to have seen it 2 games in a row, them trying to run the core Ogre. I know it's worked out for them in the past, but maybe against Na'Vi today, it's not the way to go.
A miss by Blizzy this time around.
He's going to get Winter's Curse. Zephyr will therefore be able to TP out as Chu a little off the mark with the Avalanche. Zephyr's on the high ground. They don't quite know the exact position. But
how can Tigers take fights? They're just going to... Na'Vi can just go on Roche Pit. With Pipe, the damage is just not there for Tigers.
The team fight from Tigers, it's that Winter's Curse. That is it.
And it was just used.
That is it. There's nothing else.
And they're not really that much physical either. The Weaver doesn't apply that much when he's into these type of heroes. Like Mikey and Axe, when they have this type of farm, they can just get on top of the Weaver and kill him immediately.
17 minutes in. Na'Vi. Well, I'll tell you what they are. They're continuing to make that Drow strat look worse and worse, you know. Oh, bottom lane chew. He's got the setup. And they got the dunk. They got the kill. I mean, this team game one. Remember how they looked when they had a Drow strat? You know, I'm saying that's the Drow lineup. So if Na'Vi have done anything, they're putting a pretty serious petition to get Drow strats buffed. Because they got stomped with the Drow strat. When they don't do a Drow strat, they are just absolutely walking over Tigers this series. Both game 2 and now this game 3. It looks like they're on a totally different level, Na'Vi.
Yep. Seeing Seneko playing his Phoenix, seeing Seneko playing his Chen, the 2 heroes that he excels at the most with his team. And it's working. It's working beautifully. Well, and Blizzy, of course, I mean, we've already time and time again said how well this man plays the Axe, and he's just taking it to a new level this game. Yeah.
And I think, you know, this... That's another catch. And Na'Vi, when we've been talking to them, they seem very confident. They've said that they have put serious amounts of preparation and work in before this LAN.
And you can see it.
We're seeing it all come together in this this grand finals. Exactly the point where it absolutely has to. You know, one series away from securing a ticket to the major and taking away that first place grand prize here at the Corsair Dreamleague.
And look at this, they're constantly on the hunt. He's able to get the Remnant out. I believe he's going for the Maelstrom build first. They want to have some physical damage, or they want to have some actual damage to come out, but that's also more magical. And they're going to be playing into the Axe Pipe, which we already mentioned, and I believe Gyrocopter, very close to BKB. Same thing with the TA. You have to imagine these 2 heroes, they're going to go for those early BKBs. Game for Tigers looking at nearly impossible now at this point, as they're just trapped in their base mostly. Look at the mini-map. They have the Weaver farming bottom, but everybody else is just stuck in the base, unable to farm and push out versus Navi's dominant map control.
BKB, Desolator Blink, pre-20 minute mark. You're going to be very happy as a TA.
Absolutely.
Very, very happy.
Over that 600 gold per minute mark. Yeah, he's doing great. Now we talked about Blizzy's item build. This time he varied a little bit, right? He went for the pipe because he realized how little physical there was and how all magical it was on the side of Tigers. Doesn't even care about the Blade Mill. He's just going for Shadow Blade. Go for that hunting. Just keep looking for those pickoffs time and time again. As they're gonna just keep pushing all these side waves in, and Tigers just still unable to really find positions to get outside the base. Every time they do, that happens. And they tip him. So now they're looking for some type of plays with their 3 stronger heroes on the map, but Na'Vi, their dub is making plays. They're ready to close this game out, go to the high ground, get a pick off.
Straight in, that's a core ogre.
Not anymore.
As I say, I feel like Tigers, they've got to really change it up in game 3. None of this sort of, you know, repicking it. This ogre Lina lane, they've tried it twice against Na'Vi. It has not worked.
It's just not successful.
Sure, this game, it was a little better than game 1, but it wasn't really a lane that would transition into a way that was going to be able to address the issues elsewhere in the map. As Blizzy making the lead in, making the call happen as they catch out Zephyr once more. Magical jumps in with the Melt Strike to bring down the Wyvern.
And Rocket hits the Lina. Oh, and Crystallize commits.
He's got a buyback. There'll be a buyback straight away. Hand of God comes out from Na'Vi. They start to back off a little bit, but Blizzy. Oh, he's in again. The 2-man call, setting things up, but he is getting punished. The Guna Blade comes down onto him. Blizzy may fall. He's trying to back off, but he'll die. They get the big kill onto the Axe. Can they get anything more, though, Moon? Trying to push them away, but they've already taken the range racks in the middle lane. As Na'Vi will not get the melee racks for now. The biggest kill we've seen for Tigers so far this game, and Magical, who's ready to go back in, jumps in onto Moon. Moon is dead for 35. They've got the combo onto the Emperor as well. That's 2 dead without buyback. The Winter's Curse could cause that man to die, but not Magical. He'll stay alive. The BKB in the Mel's there. Sentry's going to be dropped down against the blink off as well. To destroy the right click from Archie. Magical will survive. And they're back in. Desolator striking into this Rex. Melee racks will be claimed.
He's still keeping his Aegis alive, 40 HP. Oh my goodness. 22,000 gold lead. We're at the 1K per minute again. Age is going to be reclaimed in about 8 seconds, and Na'Vi just continuing this beautiful display.
And if Na'Vi, as I say, with this game pushing themselves potentially to 2-1 lead up in this best of 5 series, if they can repeat this performance in game 3, this is absolutely going to be one of those sort of finals that you can say, you know, Na'Vi, when they turn up to the major, this is a team that can absolutely give the other people in the major a run for their money. It's not, you know, if they can continue to just perform like this in the grand finals of a minor, they're going to scale well at the major.
Yeah, definitely Tiger's going to have to go back to the drawing board, try to figure out something to do versus this Na'Vi.
Yeah, you can't, as I say, let him have that axe. Blizzy just got so far ahead. He was set up for one of the easiest games he's had at LAN.
Yeah.
As he has been so enormously massive. There's nothing that Tigers can do about him. There's nothing that Tigers can do about the team as a whole. It's 25-6, only 23 minutes into this game. As Na'Vi look to take a second set of rags. They're ready to dive for kills if Tigers want to continue to find. Again, Blizzy. He's in with the control onto Arjit. Do they have the damage to kill him off in time? Cold Embrace will be there. Protecting Arjit for now. They'll turn their attention towards Zephyr. Arjit will get himself back towards the base. There's 4 dead on Tigers, none with buyback. They'll be back up in about 10 seconds, 3 of them, but not before a second set of rags is taken from them.
You have to imagine they're just talking about the next game now. This game is absolutely out of the bag. There's no way that you can come back in this unless Na'Vi does some fountain diving several times. Yeah, they just have to go back to the drawing board, and I think they have to consider this axe ban and maybe change up their opener a little bit. It's just been an absolute treat for Na'Vi fans in particular.
And to do it sort of 2 games in a row
with a gyro.
With the gyro, without the IO.
Yeah.
At the start of the day, again, in the interview with Blizzy, he said they're just going to turn up and play their game, play their strategy. They're certainly doing that here.
Absolutely.
Just by picking this gyro, something that we hadn't seen from them yet, and showing us how well it can work, even when the lane gets crushed. This GG is called. Game 3 goes to Na'Vi as they now lead 2-1 in this best of 5 grand finals at the minor. 1 game away for them from securing a position at the major. Tigers, they have to pick it up big time.
Absolutely.
2 games in a row where they've looked underwhelming. They haven't looked on the ball. They've not looked like the Tigers that we've seen many times this round. We know that there's a lot more that Tigers can sort of get out of themselves. But you just got to sort of hope for them that they're not sort of caught in this downhill slump now. 2 severe losses in a row. Can they pick it back up?
They're going to need a lot of big changes and just people to step it up, right? Like Zephyr definitely having a bit of a hard time. We saw in the last 2 games. As Lina had a bit of a tough one. Then he gives the axe that free kill bottom, giving him a 3-minute hood. They need to really step it up and yeah, come up with a new plan to deal with this Na'Vi that looks pretty damn scary.
Absolutely. The only loss so far this series being against sort of that Meepo pick and the failed attempt with the Drow lineup. The 2 games where they've really got to play proper Dota, one of them against a Huskar pick, have just looked phenomenal for Na'Vi. They need 1 more win to make it to the KL Major. Will they be able to do so? We'll find out very soon. We're going to have a short ad break, but as it stands, 2-1 for Na'Vi against Tigers in this best of 5 grand finals.
Dire team pick.
Lord.
So that's what I heard.
Thunderlord, what the?
It just, I feel like if they do it, they might go like Crimson Pipe. Enemy side has no damage. Could work.
They're saying let's go.
Oh man,
I don't know about
Who
that.
did they zero in on?
Underlord.
Did they actually?
I hope not.
It will be.
Well, at least we were right.
Well, you overheard it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it did.
I
Shiver,
did.
You
Yeah, I did.
overheard it.
I didn't hear anything.
If I can hear it, you can hear it too.
I don't
I have
believe
no
it.
idea what you're talking about.
I think this is fake news, pal. I think you're lying.
You lie.
All right. What about Underlord makes this hero work for this draft?
Their idea is that they're gonna like Na'Vi won't do enough damage to win this game, but Navi's about to pick an alchemist, and then they're gonna win this game.
So that
I
is
mean, we've
very
seen that
crazy.
exact draft from them, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's perfect because they just have to survive the first 15 minutes, which is quite easy when one team fight with your mass team fight lineup just wins you the game. And Tigers have no real way to close out a map at the moment, and I don't like that they're putting their playmaker on Underlord. He needs to have a great laning phase in order to win this game, and your two cores are going to probably be Lina Mirana, which is just it's awkward.
Look at
Very
that frown of Seneko.
It's not a frown, it's focus.
No, it's a
He looks angry.
He is
Why is he
very
angry?
focused. He's thinking.
He's
very
angry,
hard.
Fever.
You'd be angry if you were playing for Na'Vi for the last 2 years.
Take it easy.
Well, that's
Magical looks a
actually
lot more
toxic.
relaxed. He's like, you know, trust his captain.
Blizzy, he's just chilling.
Yeah.
Testing out the wheels of his chair. And
1 minute left.
So we got one alchemist vote. I'm still going for Monkey King.
There's not gonna Monkey King.
what did they do yesterday instead of the Alchemist in the other game that they had the exact same draft in, apart from the last pick? What did they end up going for? Don't worry, I'll look it up.
Techies.
No, I did not know.
They might have had a Lina or something. I think it was TA. Pretty sure it was TA.
One was Alchemist, the other one was Clinks.
Oh,
Damn, Kyle.
This is the exact same draft they had against Infamous Game 1
Exact
yesterday.
same draft.
exactly.
Then why don't they ban it, Cheever?
I don't know.
Too many heroes to ban. They're distracted by the previous games, not recognizing that they don't matter. It's all about this last final game.
It is. It is all about this last final game.
And
Bulldog,
you go first.
you up first.
I'm sad to say it. Just like I predicted, Navi will win, because that Underlord is bad.
Why are you sad to say that?
I don't know, actually. I'm happy. We're only win. Just like I predicted.
All right.
Since it's game 5, I'm gonna switch it up. Instead of trying to predict who loses, I'm now gonna just make, the naysayers silent. Navi's gonna win. I'm sure of it. I'm really serious this time. That Alchemist pick is A-OK. It's comfort heroes for all 5 players. And Team Tigers, you ain't got this.
He's copying me.
Hi.
Jesus.
I think I want to see the Tigers.
Okay, guys. This is it. I am going for Navi as well, but really, our predictions don't mean anything at all. Sorry to say. They do not. All that matters is this 5th game is going to decide who's going to be the champion here for the first minor and who is going to be in 2nd place and therefore disappointed in their own performance. It is over to Odie Pixel and Fogged for game 5.
Yes, Game 5 of the Corsair Dreamleague Season 10 Minor, ladies and gentlemen. Na'Vi versus Tigers. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm here with Fogged. One of these teams is going to the major in just over a week's time. Which is it going to be? And I think fitting as ever that we sort of have Na'Vi, the CIS representatives, Tigers, the SEA representatives. These two regions, I think a lot of people sort of come around, during sort of the announcement of the major, with the two regions where people said they deserve another invite. Get another team from one of these regions. And we're seeing them absolutely duel it out here. 1 game left in this best of 5. Which region is going to be sending another team to the major? We will find out. We've seen the drafts. Fogged, as the panel said, we've seen this draft with Na'Vi before. They get it through again. Do you like the fact that Tigers as a team sort of let a team come in with another winning draft? Is it sort of good for Tigers because at the same time they could have read this and they could have in their minds a way to deal with it with their own lineup?
They've seen the game. Yeah. They've seen the way it can be played, and they do have a fast-paced game, right? They have this, like, similar as last time. They have all these spamming heroes. It's very similar draft, just so placing a couple heroes. All these heroes have constant amount of spam, and they do have ways to actually kill this Alchemist. I think Navi's, it's a bit greedy, but if they can actually get away with it, like, if they can actually get away with, like, stalling out and taking these big team fights, it'll be beautiful to look at. And I don't know who to go with, because, you know, Bulldog has 100% right prediction. Kyle has, like, a 0%, and they both went for the same team.
Yeah. If anything, we can only hope that means that we get an incredibly close game
100%
to finish off this series, as that is hopefully how it is written in the ways that we saw those predictions goes.
Yep.
As we say, Magical. Sort of one of the sort of the powers of his Alchemist is, you know, we've seen sort of Magical on multiple heroes just be so good with sort of his farming patterns. You know, the way that he's able to realize which point to leave that lane and just get so much out of his own jungle.
Mm-hmm. And they have a lot of, they just have so much kill threat is the one thing I'm looking at Tigers. It's a very fast-paced draft. Their cooldowns are not really that much that they need to rely on. It's a Laguna. Laguna is their actual only long cooldown. I mean, yeah, Underlord Rift and Moonlight Shadow, but I mean by, like, killing people and, like, just actually going for these big damage plays. While on the side of Na'Vi, it's Phoenix, Void, Enigma, Tree, like all these heroes have incredibly long duration cooldowns on their ultimates. But like I said, if they can actually slow the pace down of this game and not allow Tigers to end it, this Alchemist has 4 Aghanims that he can give that are fantastic. He can also have a great time to tank up versus this lineup. It's just about Tigers ending it with a timing push with an Underlord, with like Greaves or his Pipe or his Crimson Guard, and just trying to end this before Na'Vi are able to get online.
And talking about the Underlord, what is your opinion of it? Sort of as, you know, the panel said they wanted to see Moon on more of maybe a playmaking flashy hero like the Pangolier. Getting him on this Underlord, this hero, as you said, that we can expect to see just building up the auras, offering to sort of just shoving his way down a lane, backing up the team for a 5-man push in the mid game. Do you like, you know, sort of the opportunities that Tigers can find with an Underlord this game?
I prefer Moon playing the playmakers, honestly. I 100% agree with the panel when I like seeing him saying these heroes. Seeing him do these like high skill heroes that are just like doing crazy flashy plays. Underlord, you kind of just stand there and you're casting your stuff.
Bottom lane.
Do they have it?
They don't.
The bash?
The bash indeed. That bash from Crystallize, stopping Tigers from getting first blood. One more right click from Argit would have done it.
Beautiful.
At the same time, though, 1437 getting some good blocks onto Seneko.
Got a Mango.
He is going to go for the TP out. There's the Mango, the Frostbite, 1437 with the outplay. Secures first blood for Tigers nonetheless.
And the tip immediately.
It's all on, everything to play for in this best of 5 final game.
Mm-hmm. Alchemist is doing great in that mid matchup already, as we see him. He does quite well versus Lina's, even if the Lina has like such high range and all that. Bottom though, Crystallize is being slowed down quite a lot. He has brought in a significant amount of regen, as we've seen him do all the time on this vote. Actually, he always brings the 9 tangos plus that salve, so he can eat that pressure.
I like it. You've got to be able to stay in the lane.
Yeah.
That's true. Trying his best to sort of keep vision on the side, but they've got the sentry down, Tigers.
So the Underlord though, the one thing is, it is about looking at Na'Vi's draft. Their damage, until they have the items, is very limited. Of course, they have like all these big ultimates, but when you really look at it, the brunt force of it, their damage is just not really there. It's like Phoenix is going to provide probably the majority of the damage in that early game.
Some cute little body blocking there with the Eidolons to allow a fair few punches to come in onto Moon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is true. Yeah, you sort of see this game, Pipe, Crimson Guard. Yeah, Na'Vi is going to severely struggle to get kills in the team fights.
Absolutely. And he's going to be off to a great start on the Underlord. Being able to just be that frontliner for his team to just look to try to snowball those kills. Now Lina is starting to build up in the level, so I mean a little bit more harassment onto Magical, but he's very good at being able to keep his last hits up on this Alk. Level 4 already versus that level 5 Lina. So Lina getting a couple more denies because, you know, you're versus Alchemist. Acid Spray just helps you get denies in a lot of those cases. Tigers are ready. A little bit ahead in this laning start, especially with how they're pressuring the Void, getting that first blood, of course, with Crystal Maiden. And like the panel, like Shiva mentioned too, we went back and we're like, Tiny's won every single game in this grand final so far. And Tigers, they first pick it for Zephyr.
Yeah, definitely for Zephyr as well, the hero that he seems the most comfortable on.
100%.
We've seen is so the Lina and the Wyvern performances both quite lacking in this best of 5. With the Tiny, you can expect Zephyr to perform.
bounty runes. 10 seconds. People already starting to prepare for them. We see the tree already kind of making its way to them. Underlord looks like he's trying to make sure he claims the enemy one, but
Blizzy,
there's a Lina here too.
He's in a bit of a strange position as he was hiding behind the tree, but indeed with a rotation from In Your Dream, he gets cut down. Same time, Crystallize. He's going to get taken out by Arjit there as that attempt for bounty runes by Na'Vi up and down the map off to a huge disaster as they lose 2.
Yeah, we saw the way the Tigers was playing in the last game, right? They made sure they set up really good lanes and they claimed pretty much all the bounty runes. Oh, stops the pull there with Zephyr. Nice play there. But yeah, making sure that they can keep that economy war going, and we're going to see most likely 1-4-3-7 since the way that they played it the last time, 2 versus a Storm Spirit who goes to jungle. He's going to place those deep wards down again. Place one at the shrine near that, you know, the triangle. Well, you know, it's a radiant triangle. It's a little bit different. And then place one to watch those hard camps of the Alchemist. So we'll get spotted more than likely, and that one should, or might get dewarded. May actually not have been seen. But they will get those deep vision down to be able to keep tabs of this Alchemist to look to dive. And Lina can definitely look to make those dives. If there's no Chemical Rage, they can look to get those setups with the dual rotation with CM, with Tiny, and Lina. But this time around, Na'Vi, they're preparing a little bit more. They have their own defensive ward placed extremely early. 6 minutes in, they place a high ground ward to try to protect this Alchemist. They have to 2 defensive wards.
Everything possible to make sure the Magical's got a safe space to farm.
Yeah, look at that. So you don't really see those wards coming out like this, but they know they have a bit of a greedy draft when it comes to it.
Bottom lane, trying to look for the setup onto Arjit, but as soon as he's aware they're hunting for him, pops elite, keeps the distance, he's out of there.
They're not giving him any space.
Does indeed make the invasion. They've got the setup, he'll get the Chemical Rage off, but the tree throw, it's enough. Perfect move from Tigers as they sweep across Na'Vi's half of the map and punish Magical. Down bottom, Arjit did try and jump back in to kill off the Phoenix. Seneko just able to survive with the stick charges.
A solid aggressive start. Like we said, Tigers, they've got these heroes with all this spam.
They can
saw them do similar to the last game, just constant throwing of spells out, constant being able to invade with the CM Tiny. They can definitely put the pressure on. Na'Vi have to be able to stall this one out so they can get their farm and get their big ultis off on time. Because we have seen them do so many times, like the panel said too. They've ran this exact draft. They've ran Void with Phoenix, Void with Enigma, time and time again throughout this tournament. Just can they get to that point to make sure they can make sure this Alchemist is a significant force as he's just being hunted.
Here's Zephyr. Magical's got the Chemical Rage. Also has the backup of the living armor. Starts to punch Zephyr away. No TP's coming in to sort of wrap around and get the kill onto Zephyr though, so Zephyr will still be unable to hang around.
Another deep ward.
Keep a look in onto Magical, try and still CS that he can.
He gets both of them there, and he's looking to get another one. Yeah. He will take them all.
He's taken every single one, including the skeletons at bottom lane. They've got Crystallized too. 14-37 and Arjit finding the pick off. It's 5-0, 8 minutes in, a 3K lead for Tigers. They have that pace that they can utilize with this fantastic lineup for sort of punishing the lanes, sort of the weaker early game lanes that Na'Vi have, so that they can get this early advantage, and they're doing it perfectly so far.
The playmaking on Na'Vi is just very limited until those 6s come out, like we keep saying. Tigers, they can just run from lane to lane with this Tiny, with this Crystal Maiden to look to set up kills, but now there at least is a black hole available for Blizzy. But look at Zephyr, he's just following Magical.
And there's no one keeping him off him. We are now going to see Seneko head over. They drew the toss, the Avalanche, but Blizzy's there as well with the Malefice. They should be able to kill Zephyr off, as he has certainly been a huge nuisance so far for Na'Vi. But he will finally get punished. Magical able to chase him underneath the tower, and they get the kill. Crystallize still trying to find that last bit of XP to get him towards the level 6 on the Void, as he still stands without a chrono available. They just have to make sure that there's space here for Magical so that he can continue to farm, and they cannot let Tigers consistently get away with these deep invasions of Na'Vi's half of the map.
Crystallize is going, he has to farm the mid lane though, you're talking about, so that means Chu is bottom, but as a tree versus a Mirana, he can't really walk up and get too many last hits. If he does, he gets harassed significantly. And Tigers, they're not slowing down. They want to keep this pace up, they want to keep hunting for kills constantly.
Magical.
1437.
He's going to have eyes on him, but in your dreams there. Light strikes down, they won't commit with the burst. They know there's not quite enough. Crystallize is coming across, he's got it. Chronosphere pops it. He gets the catch onto the Lina that they need. Do they have follow-up disable and detection afterwards? They do have a sentry down, but the Laguna will still come out. They lose Seneko, but they get the kill on In Your Dream. Jump forward now with the point and concoction. Magical throws it down onto 1437, but they don't have any further detector, but it doesn't matter. Oh, Blizzy, he goes for the blind black hole. The Moonlight Shadow's about to wear. Midnight Pulse is down. They'll kill off 1437. Magical looking to chase for more. Concussion back up in 5 seconds. That was a strong play from Blizzy, committing the black hole onto the 2 Moonlight Shadow targets. The concoction's cooking up as they get this connection onto Zephyr. Time will forward by Crystallize. Malefice is there as well as Na'Vi. They'll show Tigers what they think about Tigers invading their jungle time after time.
And Blizzy coming in incredibly clutch there, getting both of the heroes actually inside of that black hole. That was so needed. And Na'Vi, they're able to at least expend those big ultis to get themselves some kills. When they do get those level 6s online immediately, they look to just try to respond. Make sure they can try to get some space on the map. Void still not really able to farm, but it's all about the Alchemist, right? And he's now given space, so he's top net worth. I think he's getting that 2,200 net worth after all that plays out, after they get themselves those 3 kills. Or 4 kills.
Zephyr back in his favorite place. Trying to take what he can from the Alchemist, disrupt that sort of Grievel's gold streak that he tries to build up. Seneko on the top lane has nearly managed to sweep up the XP needed for his level 6.
Okay. Just get all those level 6s online, get all your ultis ready so you can actually have damage to come through. Still going to be a little bit limited.
Asmoon will claim the tier 1 tower top.
Tigers have to be very careful of how they overextend into plays when they know that those ultis are available. Right now, like we said though, it's only going to be the Phoenixes available for some time now, as Chrono and Enigma both have a long cooldown, and Wonder Kid, he's on the prowl.
Yes, it does under ward vision, so Na'Vi know that he's heading down here. Midnight Pulse drops as a quick Malefice as well onto the Mirana. Blizzy trying to juke out the arrow, but the arrow still connects. He ends up walking into it. Jump forward from Arjit with the commitment of the burst of the Laguna. They get the kill. 1437. He is trapped up, surrounded. Can they kill True in time? They cannot. They do still kill him, but he was able to bring down 1437, win it. Seneko, he knows the 2 of them are sort of in there. Does have a supernova, but at the same time cannot commit it against these 2 heroes that are fantastic at taking down the egg. So he'll back off as Tigers continue to get these favorable trades. Even with sort of Na'Vi, as I say, seeing that movement from Lina, they were unable to react in time and get the 2 of them out of there.
Yeah. And in this game too, we see Moon's build. I actually love that he went for the Dominator as well on top of the hood. The Dominator, now he can actually get this item that can counter the BKB Black Hole in the later stages. If he gets the Dark Troll Summoner, if that's the choice that he wants to, he can, and also applies him able to apply his own lane pressure. He can actually get this catapult, keep pressuring down towers, spamming in those waves, and keep Na'Vi responding to him. Keep this threat of an Underlord.
Do you like this sort of change up as well from Blizzy? We saw in the previous 2 games on Enigma, he goes for the Midas into BKB. This game, he just goes straight for the Pipe Rush.
I mean, there's so much magic damage on the side of Tigers. They did a similar thing as last game where they pick a Crystal Maiden and they pick like 4 magic damage spammers. It could pay off. It could hurt if he doesn't get an early blink BKB, and it also could hurt that he doesn't have like this Midas that he can rely on farming. But he has to be able to make plays early on. I think that's his thought process because of how greedy their draft is.
Black hole up in a couple of seconds, but they will not be able to get themselves on top of Zephyr. Zephyr now with the phase boots on.
Phase boots? That's different. Seen him mostly just rushing out his blink dagger so he can keep the pressure going. Gives him high base damage and high mobility so he can keep running around the map, and he is pretty much just running around the map, so was he? Oh, look at these juices.
Just look at these noodles. Healing so much from magic. It's bottom. Actually looking for the setup here with the overgrowth. Chrono's down as well. If they get a couple of bashes, they should have this. He needs 1 more. He's not going to get it. As Arjit with the 3 leaps is out of there. 1 more bash would have done it, but RNG not on Crystallize's side.
We said the draft of Na'Vi, it's extremely limited in damage. That is why we saw Tigers, they last picked this Underlord. If he can just itemize, then they can just try to go for closing this game. But Magical, even though he's been slowed down a bit, his relic timing, 14 minutes with Treads and a Soul Ring, not too shabby.
No. Not going to be the time. I believe with this draft last time around, we saw him get the sort of crazy 11-minute Radiant timing.
He did.
So certainly going to be a much tougher game in comparison to that one.
He's been contested an insane amount this game. Just the invasions coming out from this tiny CM. Just everybody always has such high mana on the side of Tigers that they can keep playing on the map. They don't have to back up at all. They just can keep making these moves consistently to try to pressure the Na'Vi greedy lineup. And so far, it's working. 5k gold lead. They need to keep it up. Keep this deep vision down.
Certainly seems that, as we expected, Tigers, they knew exactly how Na'Vi was going to end this draft. They sort of let the Alchemist through because they had this way of approaching and punishing the Alchemist pick.
Got bounty runes in about 10 seconds. Tigers want to ideally try to claim as many of those as possible versus an Alchemist, but look at Na'Vi. They're emphasizing so much on trying to claim it. Moon, he's just walking in. Tigers here too.
They are coming in with the wraparound. The quick burst means the Seneko is not going to get the chance to get the ult off. They've got the root down onto the tree. As Tigers just reading every single movement and intention from Na'Vi this game.
Yeah. Flawless move so far. I mean, it's 5-11. They've gotten a lot of like Na'Vi having to commit some big ultis to get these kills, but Tigers, they're emphasizing so much on this pressure. The arrow, crystallize.
He has to get out of it.
He's getting chased though.
There he is. He's already used the first time. Well, he's going to have it back up in a couple of seconds, but they have the control. So many stuns for this Void to worry about.
And they claimed themselves 3 of the 4 bounty runes in that last time. Magical did end up getting the one top. But again, just like last time, we see the way Tigers is prioritizing the game versus this greedy draft. Moon, stepped up a bit far, doesn't have mana for the Rift out either.
Does he? Does have the wraparound with the Malefice and the Sunray. They've got a good amount of damage ticking him down. The Overgrowth of the Supernova being used as well. They cannot risk Moon getting away.
It's a lot of gold they get for just that kill. 2 ultis used, Overgrowth as well as the Phoenix Egg. And the Phoenix, like we're mentioning, he's a lot of the damage coming in for the side of Na'Vi for quite a long time. Magical.
They lead in, Avalanche, Light Strike, Crystallize jumps forward. He's got the Chrono if he can close the gap, but he can't do so. They're a little too speedy with the Faith Boost on Zephyr and the Fire Soul stacks. Felina's out of there. 1437 won't be quite as fortunate as he takes an acidic concoction to the face from Magical. Na'Vi get themselves another kill. Still 8k behind though, at 16 minutes in.
And now the full pipe finished up for the Underlord. So that little physical damage that Na'Vi has, pretty much all magic damage for a very long time in this draft, is going to be heavily mitigated by that. They just keep this map control going. Their deep wards, most of them have timed out or been countered out by Na'Vi, but we have to expect Tigers. They're just going to keep running at the side of Na'Vi.
Does he? Quick juke to the Pit of Malice, won't be rooted today.
The mini stuns.
Very close to having the complete pipe for the team. Yep. Radiant's now done for Magical.
It's just a Radiant Stone. Look at those other 2 cores on the side of Na'Vi. They are not farming well whatsoever. The Tiny is about to surpass Crystallize in farm. And Crystallize, he doesn't have any space to get any farm. This Alchemist needs all of it. Immediate invasions by Tigers.
He's starting to poke outside of the base, but 1437, he's got friends nearby. Moon is there. They will manage to hold themselves near the shrine. Light Strike comes down out onto the tree, and they're by the shrine, healing up. Chu is thinking about... Get the 2 of them, but the Light Strike's there from in... Light Strike through the Chronosphere, holds down, Crystallize. The arrow, it connects. Tigers, they're not done with just 4. They'll take the full team wipe. In Your Dream gets an ultra kill. As Na'Vi there, they used the Overgrowth, they used the Black Hole, they used the Supernova, they used the Chronosphere. It didn't matter, they lost everybody.
They don't have the damage, and Tigers, with all this lockdown, with all this spam ability, they're not ready to threaten high ground. It's less than 20 minutes, and 10k gold lead. Uh-oh, Tigers, they had a plan versus this heavy greedy draft from Na'Vi, and so far they're executing it perfectly. Already on the high ground.
With the Light Strike. Actually hitting onto Seneko there. Crystallize trying to lead in with the time lock. Frostbite comes through. You see Argent starting to think about turning around and fighting this. The Frostbite will wear off as Crystallize is able to time warp back to safety. But they've got to wait for those ults to come back online, and as we've seen, even with them, it's so hard for Na'Vi to come out on top of the fights, with the fact that pretty much the entirety of Tigers lineup are a full item ahead.
Yeah, And now they just continue this pressure, right? Just keep these high ground visions, defend your wards on the side of Tigers. Don't let Na'Vi get any space on the map. Place a ward on the bottom side too so you can see whenever this Alchemist goes jungle, and immediately, 1.37, they're hunting. They found Magical. He's all alone.
No escape for the Alchemist.
Tigers are just playing this. Yeah, perfect. They're punishing the Greed, not giving any space. They want this place. They want the space to go to the major. So far, it's working. A hero we don't see very often, the Underlord, working out because of all the pressure they can apply on the lanes and just the little damage that Na'Vi has, like we keep saying.
It's being nullified with the pipe and the Greaves. It's going to be so hard for Na'Vi to kill anybody. It already is.
And immediately, look, they show their Crystallize shows his face on the map, and right away they start sandwiching.
And they don't have. They've got a supernova. That's it at the moment. Overgrowth now back up. As Arjit leads him with the Moonlight Shadow. Na'Vi, they have to get out of here immediately. Blizzy being focused by Moon. Pip Malice will not connect, but Moon pushes Blizzy away so they can grab the 2 bounty runes. Top, down, bottom as well, they'll grab them. Every single bounty rune going Tiger's way. It's a 14k lead at 20 minutes.
They're so good about like keeping their lead and just addressing. The only way that Na'Vi comes back is getting some space to farm, getting these bounties. They won't let them. Look, immediately they start running bottom. They're just running from literally lane to lane, just hunting.
Yeah,
they don't care about getting farmed with creeps.
Magical. He's got to back up. They're closing in. They're on top of him with the Frostbite. He'll get the Chemical Rage off, but Zephyr's there with the wraparound. Jumps in with the combo. They're underneath the tower, though. Zephyr is split up from the rest of the team. They'll get the Concoction and Acid Spray down onto the Tiny. Zephyr will fall. Now, with 1 man down, they've got to consider if they're really going to stick around. Crystallize gets the setup with the Chronosphere out onto the 2 of them with the Mask of Madness. They beat down the Crystal Maiden. They surround Moon. The Bash is coming out. Na'Vi strike back. They'll get the 3 kills. They will be able to punish Tigers for just diving that little bit too far, overextending towards and beyond that tier 2 tower bottom.
They didn't have the lean and the Mirana there for Tigers. Like the other 3, they're pretty good at hunting until Chemical Rage comes out and the Tree Armor. They don't have the actual raw damage to deal through it without these 2 big cores. So Tigers, it's good that they're making moves around the map constantly, but they need to have one of those real big damage dealers to come in. Tiny provides a lot if he's able to get the combo immediately onto somebody, but Alchemist still kind of tanky. Na'Vi, they punch back, and that's just 1 ulti they have to use there. So now they do have the other ones to be able to thwart it off. And this game, it's all about if they can hold that high ground, stall the game out for Na'Vi.
Arjit trying to get the prediction with the arrow. They've got the Yules, does cancel the dive. He does have a supernova, but he won't get it out. The perfect timing for the light strike will hold Seneko down. As Tigers back on the prowl, back on the killing spree. They also find Blizzy. Blizzy tossed up, he does have the pipe. It's 14:37, he'll get the slow, the arrow, he gets him! But the pipe and the living armor, they're keeping him alive, not enough though. Starstorm comes out from Arjit. As even with the pipe and that armor, and there's as much damage as Tigers have, they can still very much kill that Enigma.
If they've got the Mirana and the Lina there, for sure. And we see the itemization. Look at this Lina's items. He's not going for some type of Shadow Blade. I mean, that would have been, it's always a good hunting item. But he's got a Blink, he's got a Yules, he's got an Aether Lens. And
that's a spooky creep. But they're out of there. So Tigers unable to find the catch in the bottom lane as Na'Vi straight back to base.
When Greaves do come out, they're gonna be so durable versus Na'Vi's lineup, and this Void is just still not able to catch up. Has Mask of Madness, but in comparison, he is far behind Tiger's cores.
Chu just trying to do what he can, soaking up the XP that's being farmed up by Arjit.
They need to be so efficient with their movements on the side of Na'Vi. Like every single time they get any space on the map, they need to go out, de-ward those high ground wards that Tiger's placing down, and just try to give Magical a game where he can get this farm up, to be able to give those Aghanims, be able to get to be that big beefy core that he can actually soak up Tiger's high damage potential. Position for a dive when they're trying to claim this tier 2 bottom, Tigers. So Blink, Yules, Aether Lens into a straight Aghanims on the Lina. It's all about just hunting for kills. Getting in position. Also, the Blink Dagger can be incredibly useful versus the Void. If Void tries to jump in, you can get the quick Blink out. All about this pressure. So Magical gets the level 15 mark, which is a very significant portion for that Alchemist. You get that 400 health talent. Can be able to absorb some more of that damage the Tigers has.
2 eyes on Zephyr. Coming across, trying for the D-Ward. Does get the D-Ward, but it costs him his life.
Yep.
Radiant's
As
bottom
Na'Vi will be
tower
quick
is
to
under
reclaim
attack.
control of that ward spot. 1437 and In Your Dream pushing in. Crystallize, maybe seeing if he can find the setup for the Chronosphere. Does he really want to chase forward for this? They've got the Frostbite. In Your Dream coming back in, but the Chrono comes out straight away. The Laguna! The distance. The all damage as well. Can he get out of this? He can't! The Frostbite kills him! And now the egg down. The egg will be successful for Blizzy. Coming in from the side. The egg does fall. But the Chrono, the Black Hole setup's there. It's out onto the two of them. They've got In Your Dream. RG trying to leap away. Moonlight Shadow as well. We'll keep him safe. As Tigers, they back off. A 2-for-2 trade. Magical's got the dust. Can he get the concoction out though? He can! Yes, he can! He gets it out to 40-37. But Archie turns the arrow out onto Chu.
Lina
Living
buyback.
armor's there as he's trying to retreat, but the damage over time will tick him out. The buyback from In Your Dream will mean that the setup, the catch is there for Blizzy. Your Scepter and a Light Strike holds him in place. As Tigers, they buy back on In Your Dream, but it will keep them on top once again.
All the ultis used now, though. This is Tigers' time to try to break that high ground when they've got everybody alive and Na'Vi doesn't have anything to protect them. It's just the Alchemist for now. He has 2 more heroes respawning, but they don't have anything really to provide here.
They've got to get that courier as well out to the secret shop as Magical needs his Manta Star. He needs to get that ultimate orb. There is a Crystal Maiden hanging around there. They've got to be careful with the courier here. 1437 is nearby. Does manage to get it in and out, but there's the jump. They toss Magical back. Magical needs help. Seneca's been taken down. Magical gets beat down as well. Tigers, they take more from Na'Vi. 2 more kills, and they'll continue to push on.
And they need to take this tower down too, because there's a tree armor, so it's gonna get healed up if they don't finish it.
And they'll get it.
And they do get it.
They get the tier 3 tower with the commitment. Moon has the pipe. Sunray's coming out. It's not enough. And in fact, Zephyr jumps back in. Seneca's got to be careful. Living Armor will keep him safe once more. The concoction does come out, trapping Zephyr underneath the tier 3 tower. They had to buy back on both Seneko and Magical for that, though. And as we saw, they didn't keep the tier 3 alive.
Nope. And an immediate back out from Tigers when they see those buybacks. Now the cooldowns will start coming back for Na'Vi, but it's a 15,000 gold lead. And Tigers, they're going to look to clean out those shrines.
And it looks like Na'Vi, they were unable to get the courier safely to the shop. Still needs to get that ultimate orb, Magical. As Tigers, they're all over this area of the map, making it very hard for Na'Vi to get over. Chu is trying for the lead, and they do have a Chronosphere available if they see an opportunity, but the Pit of Malice comes out, responds Seneko. He's trying here with the Supernova, the 40-37 and Moon, they're hitting it. They've got the overload. Can they hold them back in time? No, the egg falls. Magical in on top of 40-37. The Chrono, it gets the 3 of them, but do they have the damage? The arrow, it hits Crystallize. They may have killed 2 of Tigers. Moon's trying for the rift out. Can he get the Himanaji out in time? He can. Oh. So again, Tigers, sure they lose 2, but they still continue to come out on top of these fights, despite Na'Vi using their ultimates.
And it's very thankful that Blizzy gets the Midnight Pulse on top of that black hole, or on top of that Chronosphere. We see that most of the damage comes just from Midnight Pulse inside that team fight. Just able to set it up there. But Tigers, they get the bailout. Like we said, the Pit Lord, the Underlord, as soon as he has these type of all these defensive items, the damage is really mitigated.
Yeah, they can't kill him in time.
And now that is the ulti's used again.
It is. Time to push back in from Arjit and Zephyr as they're knocking on the barracks. Looks like they will be fine with Magical's presence, as Magical does now have the Manta Style out to him. He's nearly got the money for Blink Dagger as well.
He has to be careful, though. He did use buyback. If he dies, that's going to be a long time without their strongest hero, their strong front lines for them to be able to set up. So we see Blizzy. He goes for these strong defensive items. He's going for a Crimson Guard of their own to try to
level
protect
15
him.
talent did he get as well?
He got the GPM.
Does still get the GPM.
Yeah. But Underlord, we see he's going full all of the defensive items.
Yeah.
Has the Greaves finished up 2 on top, so if they do start dropping low, that extra regen and armor kicks in.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Invisibility.
Such a tough one for Na'Vi to
See
come
this
back
replay
here.
again. I mean, the Chrono
Catches all of them, and the Midnight Pulse is down right on top of all of it for that damage applied coming through.
It could have gone a bit better, but the Pit of Malice just stopped Crystallize from getting quite close enough in time to get the Chrono out before they took down that Supernova Egg.
Yep.
Like, it nearly went perfect for Na'Vi, but just sort of these little things like the roots from the Underlord make it so hard for the Void to play around at this stage.
Yeah, it's so much control, like you said, on the side of Tigers. Just like the last game. It's a very similar draft that they went for this time around. And it's working again. 16,000 gold.
They have to be careful with this Moonlight. They're closing in on them. Time lockout from Crystallize.
Time
dilation.
That's your hero.
Oh, damn it, it is. It's alright, I don't skill that skill.
You really don't.
No.
Zephyr. It's spotted. Magical.
No, it's been ticked down by the Radiance.
There's a lot of Navi's heroes here.
Can they do this? They do have the ultimates to play around as well if a full-fledged team fight kicks off. The toss is actually going to mean that Magical is out of the way of the arrow. Zephyr sort of saving him. Zephyr is still alive, though. Does manage to walk off. Moon comes in with the wraparound. The pit's down onto Magical. Magical does not have the ult, but they do with the Chrono. They get it down, but the Rift is going to be there for Moon. It's looking to take the team out in time. Will it be that it brings him out? Moon takes everyone back to safety. Zephyr and 1437 are left behind, but they can still walk it off.
That's like every ulti. Now Tigers can reset. They can look to either go for the Roche or they can look to just go for fight.
Blizzy, he's in trouble. The Yule set up there from In Your Dream. Living Armor. Is it really going to be enough along with the Crimson Guard to save this Enigma? It is not. They've lost Blizzy.
They know there's no ultis available. Now it's a choice, Tigers. Do you go for the Roche? Do you go for the high ground?
I think at the least they can go for the bounty runes. We'll see Seneko is already heading out. He doesn't want them to get all 4 bounty runes, but he's not going to get there in time. In Your Dream's already on it.
They're so quick about it. Bulldog is very happy inside of the green room right now.
It's a 17k gold lead for Tigers.
Yep.
At 30 minutes in against an Alchemist lineup.
Yeah, and they're just keeping this pressure on. They're always there with multiple heroes. So much disable coming in, and now they're looking for the Roche.
They don't have anything to contest this with Na'Vi.
There's no way they can try to fight this. It would be suicide.
They've got to let it go. They've got to let it go.
35, 55, 104. They've got overgrowth, but yeah, that one's not going to provide too much. As we said, the damage is limited for them to catch.
And In Your Dream doesn't find the connection onto Seneko. Zephyr still trying to chase. With the dive, Seneko will be far enough away to get back to the high ground. As Tigers taking the Roshan for free.
Oh, look at this. Look at this Underlord's HP regen. Look at that. 73.5. They got the level 20 talent now.
Do we have anyone that can get a Spirit Vessel on Navi's line?
They have one on Tree.
They do have one.
But he has Greaves, so he can dispel it. He's usually using the Dispel for the overgrowth, but...
Not if he's in the Chrono, though.
Not if he's in the Chrono,
They can get him in these sort of big ultimates. There is a chance that he dies. I mean, still without that.
He's still so tanky.
He really is. It's so hard to kill Moon.
And do they have now the Aghanims on the Lina? He's got this level 20 Spell Amp talent, too, so the damage that comes through from Lina, if he does, he has it back at base. It is over 1,000 pure damage. Around like 1,100-ish pure damage that can be coming through from that Lina. Yep, Tigers, with this Aegis, they're backing out. They're making sure that they can just farm, push out these lanes. See, 1437, he's running around the Tome. Okay, he uses it on himself. I thought he might be saving it for someone. But they've got some GPM talents too, as we see the Crystal Maidens starting to kick in above the 2 supports. I mean, look at the farm right now on Tigers. They've got 4 of the 5 top net worth, just like the last game. And this Crystal Maiden almost has the same net worth as Crystallize.
As this whole map and this whole game being controlled by Tigers.
Yeah, they just keep farming. They're doing the suffocation again now onto Na'Vi. They can't get out to be able to get any farm. Magical even afraid to step out, and Magical's the only one who's really farming at all now. We see now bottom. They look like they're trying to force out the lanes a little bit here just to make sure that Tigers can't set up all around. The Tigers, they just continue to grow that lead since they have all the space in the world to farm.
Aye.
Very nice. Full Aghanims now. And this is time. Hey, Tigers, they've got their lanes in good positions. They want to claim Arax.
Na'Vi's got to get back. Now I imagine Crystallize does have a TP. He does. He's going to head back. They want to hold this. The arrow. Marge it. It connected. Blizzy's going to try forward, but the Laguna already comes down with the Aghanims. It's more than enough damage to just finish Seneko off straight up. Arjit coming in with a BKB, jumps in. The black hole is there. It's holding down Arjit for the light strike. It cancels the black hole. It's gone. They jump in. The kill goes the third. Then we have buyback from Crystallize. Buyback from Blizzy. But he's got no black hole, there's no Treant, and there is no Phoenix for this defense.
And they've used their BKB on the Alchemist too. His Chemical Rage is back up now on Alk. He's trying to walk forward, but we see how strong Tiger is.
And they're in straight away again. Zephyr with a 2-man avalanche to toss the control. Blizzy tries to turn, they jump in. Crystallize got the Chrono. Do they have the damage? The Radiance burn to Supernova Na'Vi. They've got the Underlord. Can they kill Arjit a second time? Arjit trying to fight back, beating into Suneko. Suneko keeps his distance, but the right clicks are enough. Arjit takes down the Phoenix, and Laguna Blade from the dream bursts down Crystalline. Magical control. Tigers, they get the 4 of them.
It's a buyback on the Alpha, but everybody else is dead. The siege by Tigers. That Laguna Blade, I think that Laguna Blade almost killed Crystallize from full health.
Tigers, they can go for so much more here.
Look at the spells that casted. 2 Laguna Blades in the fight, 5 Light Strike arrays, 7 Dragon Slaves.
That Aghanim's making all the difference.
Just such an, it's just too much of a gold lead. Tigers, we had a beautiful setup by Na'Vi. They catch pretty much the perfect fight for themselves, but Tigers, they're just too strong.
As Na'Vi, they're going to try with just the 2 of them. They move in, they've got the root, the self-fuels will buy time. The Tiny to be sent a magic against the concoction on. BKB out as well, beats down the Tiny, buyback straight away.
Overgrowth on 3.
Allows Magical to keep the distance back off. 10 seconds until Blizzy's back in the game. They're doing their best in Na'Vi, is the 2 of them to make sure they don't lose a second set of racks. But the burst Laguna again gets the kill. The radiance for the illusion though is ticking in your dream down. He's trying to run away. He can't. He dies to the radiance burn. But back in the base, Arjit jumps in with a BKB. Magical gets bursted. Blizzy tries to come in. And the BKB from Arjit allows him to commit for what? He's taking a lot of damage from the tier 4 tower. It was Arjit. He may just die now the moonlight.
Oh my god, he almost died.
Save him from that last hit for the tier 4 tower. He gets back out.
He was walking along the midnight pulse as well, but he takes the path to the left, ends up surviving. But there's no Alchemist for 100. Phoenix and Enigma are way too weak to be able to contest Tigers when they have their whole lineup.
45 seconds until a black hole. Chronosphere as well, still down.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
As they will lose a second set of racks. Zephyr starting to poke and prod at Na'Vi outside of the fountain.
There's no Alchemist for 80. The team fight, like sure, when they have their ultis, they can be strong, but the Alchemist is everything for them. Tigers, they're looking to close it.
5 seconds until the Chronosphere from Crystallize. And this tier 3 tower is falling. They get the Yule setup. They're trying to come in. The Supernova comes out. He needs a perfect chrono. Can he actually get to the linear time? The Supernova is still going for now. Moon, he's trying to finish it off, but he can't. The Supernova successful. Moon's still very tanky. Spirit Vessel is dead. Crystallize planted though. No chance for a chrono, and Zephyr's on top of him with the Toss Avalanche combo. They are without the Void Shoe. He's been dusted. Blizzy walking in. He's got the black hole. They don't have the control though. The Yules comes out. The black hole cancelled Tigers. They found 3. The light strikes down onto Blizzy. Yules as well onto the GG is called, and Tigers have done it. They are going to the major.
Look at Moon, he's so happy. Theban gets up instantly, 1-4-3-7 to 1 hit. That was fantastic.
I mean, and a team, game 2, game 3, these guys, they were able to pick themselves back up after 2 crushing defeats to come back in game 4 and game 5. They had an answer for a winning draft that we've seen from Na'Vi early in this tournament. They were prepared. They had the answers. They played perfectly at invading Na'Vi's jungle, making sure the Magical did not get that start to the game that he hoped for.
And Tiny wins all 5 games in this grand final. Just
Zephyr
the pressure that he can place around the map.
He needed to pick it up, Zephyr, and he certainly did when he got his hands on the Tiny. And now Tigers, as we can see, getting their hands on the trophy. The champions here at the Corsair Dream League Season 10. $125,000 for the team and a spot at the major. And you can only imagine how great it feels for these guys. The SEA qualifier team winning that spot to perform at the SEA major.
And in such ruthless manner.
1437. He had some great ideas this series. The drafts worked out big time, game 4 and game 5. And ladies and gentlemen, your champions here, Tigers. What a series, what a performance, what a tournament. I cannot wait to see what they can show us at the major. As that is it from myself, ODPixel and Fogged. As always, we've hoped you've enjoyed the series, and a big thank you to both Na'Vi and Tigers for giving us an incredible finale here at Corsair Dream League Season 10. But it's not all over yet.
Yeah,
as we'll send you back to the panel.
Come on in! Come in! Knock it in! You guys! Congrats! Take a seat.
Take a seat.
Champion, sit down.
Go sit down. Ooh,
Goodness.
what a series. We have, by the way, 1 microphone to share between the 5 of you.
Don't worry, all right.
You can sit on the side.
There you go. Take the microphone. We'll give it to the,
All right,
the
Moon.
bravest man. First DPC event of the season, first minor for you guys, ticket to the major. What's in your head?
Crazy, just a lot of emotions. Like, I can't believe that it's been such a long time since I been to a major, and it's like just crazy. And all these guys here with me here, like, we feels all like amazing, because I feel like we're so bonded together. Like, we just feel each other, and just overwhelmed with emotions right now. It's crazy.
I'm so happy to hear that. You can share the microphone. You don't have to answer all the questions, because it's, this is a big thing for you guys. As a first event with your U5 as a squad, this series going to all 5 games. How was that for you guys as